The police in Boulder, Colorado now say 12 people were injured in the Sunday attack on a group demonstrating in support of Israelis held hostage by Hamas.
And as bad as it was, it could have been much worse. They say they recovered 16 unused Molotov cocktails.
The suspect will be charged by both the state and federal governments with hate crimes and attempted murder. The state charges alone carry more than 6 centuries in prison.
Prosecutors say the suspect has confessed, has no regrets, and would do it again.
Nancy Cordes at the White House has the president's reaction, but we begin with Jason Allen in Boulder. Jason?
John, people have been visiting the site of the attack here throughout the day, some of them bringing flowers, and police are very visible in the area today. Investigators revealed that the suspect had tried to buy a gun, but then realized he couldn't because he's not a citizen. And that's when he turned to the plan to use Molotov cocktails instead.
Mohammed Solomon appeared before a Colorado judge Monday, facing charges of attempted murder. According to an affidavit filed by the Department of Justice, the 45-year-old Solomon planned the attack for a year. The FBI says witnesses allegedly heard Solomon yell, "Free Palestine," and he used a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails to attack demonstrators. 12 people were injured. Acting U.S. Attorney J. Bishop Gruel.
Such violence is particularly pernicious when someone is targeted because of their race, their religion, or their national origin.
The affidavit says Solomon allegedly stated that he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead.
This morning I talked to some of them who could answer the phone.
Boulder City Council member Tara Weiner knows 4 of the victims.
How are they doing?
You know, they'll be okay physically, these particular ones, but you could imagine how they're doing. But the Jewish community is beyond upset, outraged about what is happening.
An Egyptian national, Solomon overstayed a tourist visa, according to the Department of Homeland Security. DHS says he requested asylum in 2022 and that his non-immigrant visa expired in February of 2023. Solomon had a job with a healthcare company in 2023, and at the time of the attack, he was a driver for Uber, according to a company spokesperson. Weiner, who is Jewish, has been with her friends during previous Sunday demonstrations and said she will be there again.
Do you think you put yourself at risk by doing that?
We'll have security. But, I mean, I personally can't walk around being afraid. This is not who I am.
You can't let it stop you.
I can't.
Authorities said more charges could be filed in this case. And one other thing to note, law enforcement, when they searched his vehicle, they said that they found paperwork with the words Israel, Palestine, and USAID written down.
Jason Allen in Boulder. Thank you, Jason.
Now to Nancy Cordes at the White House. So, Nancy, what is the president saying about this tonight?
Maurice, the president and the White House more generally, they're using this case to hammer the Biden administration over its immigration policies, which they are arguing enabled this suspect to stay in the country. In a post this morning, President Trump said acts of terrorism like this one will not be tolerated in the United States. And he said this is why we must deport illegal anti-American radicals from our homeland. Trump's deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller, added no more hostile migration. Keep them out and send them back. Solomon entered the U.S. 3 years ago on a tourist visa, but he has applied for asylum about a month later. And some asylum cases can take 6 years to process. So he was allowed to stay here and wait.
Nancy, what would have happened to Solomon under Trump's policies?
Well, the Trump administration, John, has raised the asylum threshold, so he could still enter the country on a tourist visa today, but he might not be allowed to even begin the asylum process. The Biden administration also granted him a temporary 2-year work permit, so he was able to earn a living here in the U.S. while he waited for his asylum claim to be processed. And it's unlikely under Trump's immigration policies that he would have been granted that work permit.
Nancy Cordes at the White House for us. Thank you, Nancy.